like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, this is pretty much exactly what I did a couple days ago. I will be reacting to a video that I did make a couple of years ago. I think specifically, I made this video 2 years ago. And this is basically why I thought that Jigen might actually take Kawaki's body. Now, I know right now it seems like a shoo-in because we know exactly what happened in the Boruto manga. But at this particular time, we were not 100% sure if this was actually going to happen. And this right here wasn't really like a completely popular theory. Like, one of the popular things that we did have was like, you know, Kashin Koji potentially having something to do with Jiraiya. We were like 90% sure about that. With this theory right here, we were like a solid 50% sure. People weren't necessarily 100% on board, but now we really know. But regardless, I did want to, I kind of react to this mainly because I was going through some of my old videos, and I thought that this right here would definitely be a very good one to react to. Me personally, I think that during this video, myself, I wasn't 100%, you know, completely convinced, but I did want to talk about the overall theory of why this could have possibly been true. So I don't necessarily want to say I was 100% right, because even me, I had some doubts about this theory, but I do want to still kind of watch it.
Vessel Kawaki theory, what Kawaki does mean to Jigen. Now, of course, we do understand that Kawaki is supposed to be the vessel for Jigen. No one exactly knows what that means, but we do have a definition for a vessel because Orochimaru, even currently, still uses a lot of vessels to keep on his younger looking self and pretty much have a new body so he can't keep up.
Yo, this has nothing to do with this video, but how is Orochimaru getting away with this, bruh? This man is still sacrificing people to look younger. How is he still getting away with this, bruh?
With all of the strong shinobis in the village. And this basically makes Orochimaru damn near immortal at this point. His lifeline is going to be longer than the average human. Now, in my opinion, I feel like this is supposed to be the same thing in regards to Jigen. I feel like Jigen is pretty much grooming Kawaki to possibly be his next vessel. Now, we did see something like this in terms of Orochimaru and Sasuke. Sasuke basically went to Orochimaru to gain power and gain strength to eventually beat Itachi, but we all knew what Orochimaru was pretty much doing. He was grooming Sasuke to possibly eventually take over his body so he could have the Sharingan. Now, we all know that Jigen has a karma seal, and also he's been cycling through multiple bodies to try and attempt to give the other people a karma seal, just like Kawaki has. It landed in Kawaki, and now Kawaki is the vessel. Now, as I said, I had this theory for a very long time, but in the last chapter, this theory pretty much gained some legs. In the last chapter, we seen Boruto and Naruto sparring, and of course Kawaki was there and he seen that as well, and that made Kawaki himself think back to times when he was sparring with his father. Now, of course, those scenes looked extremely different from Boruto scenes of him sparring with Naruto.
Yes, I think I kind of remember exactly, you know, what this theory was. Specifically, you know, I had absolutely no idea what the karma seal was in regards to, you know, how that right there actually, you know, turns you into another Otsutsuki member. I think this theory right here is pretty much me talking about how Kawaki had to master the karma seal, because of course that's what Jigen said during the sparring scene. But Kawaki had to master the karma seal because when Jigen himself does enter Kawaki's body or takes over his body, he would then learn, or he would then have the mastery of the karma seal, because Kawaki himself in that body had mastery of that karma seal. Of course, it had absolutely nothing to do with the karma seal eventually turning into an Otsutsuki member, because at this particular point, we had no idea of that being the case. I just thought that would be the case, and of course, I'm probably going to explain that later on this video, but let's hear.
Mainly because Jigen was much more rougher with Kawaki, but during that scene, Jigen actually said, "You are useless to me if you don't learn how to use the karma seal." So my idea of this would be that Jigen would have to make sure that Kawaki's body is used to the karma seal for Jigen to basically have a seamless transition into Kawaki's body. Now, we've seen this multiple times throughout the Boruto manga, where after you use the karma seal, you have no more energy after that, and you're pretty much done. When Kawaki did fight these robots right here, afterwards he did fight an outer member of the Kado organization, and after both times he passed out. I mean, like, he was pretty much done after that. And we see a similar reaction to that with Boruto when he did eventually fight Kashin Koji. He completely knocked out right after that. They both immediately felt fatigued because their bodies were not used to the karma seal. Now,
alright, so I personally believe, I know I didn't 100% say it correctly, but I'm going to say it right now. I got this theory right. But Here's the thing. It wasn't 100% there. It wasn't 100% there. And even at the start of this video, I told you guys I didn't even think that I really had this theory. I thought it was just a theory that I was explaining. I do this a lot of times where I see, people that comment, or I see people that comment, or I see on Twitter, or I see on Reddit, people have a theory, and then I explain it, and then I pretty much tell you guys the pros and cons of this theory and how it could be true and how it cannot be true. But this right here was actual theory that I had. I didn't know. It turns out that this theory was actually right. There was some nuance to this theory that made it a little bit wrong, but overall it was right.
That time when Jigen was basically cursing out Kawaki, Kawaki was on the floor and he looked extremely fatigued. Now this could possibly be because Kawaki, after he used the Karma Seal, was completely drained. Now of course, as I said, for Jigen to basically have a seamless transition into Kawaki's body would have to already be accustomed to the Karma Seal and not be fatigued after he uses the Karma Seal. Now that's pretty much like the overall theory. I do have a couple of more add-on theories that a lot of you guys were sending me in the comment section below, and I just want to add them for the sake of adding them, so you guys could pretty much be heard. Now this one that I really do believe in.
Hold on, I didn't even expect for it to be any more add-on theories. This right here is going to be a treat, bro. I want to see exactly what the comments had to say back then. Remind you guys, this right here is super authentic. This right here is literally from 2 years ago. Absolutely
very
insane.
much be possible, and it's the fact that Jigen at this point, this is the famous Kawaki versus Boruto scene that we did see in the first minute of the first episode. This right here could possibly not be Kawaki. This could possibly be Jigen. Now, if you guys remember, Kawaki's staff...
Well, it turns out that in the future, now, we know that is definitely Kawaki. I'm not necessarily going to say 100%, but I'm going to say 95% that's going to be Kawaki. 95% that's going to be Kawaki.
Was something very famous to him. It was very popular. A lot of people did like to draw him along with his staff. Even though Kawaki doesn't have a staff right now, this same staff was seen with Jigen. Jigen was wielding the staff in the last chapter of Boruto, and it basically seemed like that was Jigen's main go-to weapon. Now, as I said, this right here could possibly be Jigen, and it would make sense upon why he would have the staff. That could possibly be a reason as to why Kawaki is pretty much extremely heartless to Boruto during the scene. He was like, alright, I'm going to send you to where I sent the 7th Hokage. And it would explain the formality of Kawaki saying the 7th Hokage and not Naruto. As we all know, as right now, Naruto is trying to be the father figure to Kawaki, and of course, we should expect Kawaki to start calling Naruto by his first name, mainly because they're spending so much time together.
That's actually true. Current day Boruto manga, Kawaki is literally looking at Naruto like he's his dad. Like, literally. We're seeing the Boruto anime right now, how they're setting the stage for that, how Kawaki and Naruto, they're bonding right now. But in the Boruto manga, the relationship is already there. Like, they basically see each other as definite, like, family. So him calling Naruto the 7th in the future still definitely does seem a little bit weird, but we still know 100% that right there, or not 100%, 95% that definitely is Kawaki.
Of course, it might be the situation where Kawaki eventually just betrays Naruto and betrays Boruto, eventually goes back to Jigen, kills Jigen, takes Jigen's staff, and eventually fights Boruto in this exact scene right here. Now, of course, this theory is a lot less developed, mainly because I haven't really been putting as much time into this theory, but I definitely do think that later on down the lines, this theory could possibly gain some leg. And what I believe is that this theory right here might actually be one of the more interesting theories, mainly because Kawaki would eventually get his revenge against the guy that he hates with all of his soul. But let me know what you guys...
Turns out that he did get his revenge, but not in that particular way. But regardless, I definitely like this video right here. I mean, again, I didn't 100% call it, but I called it, like, in theory, no pun intended. I called the fact that Jigen would try to take Kawaki's body, and that's exactly what Jigen tried to do, like, literally right before he died. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you guys give me the W on this theory, or do you guys give me the L, bro? I think I caught the W, bro. I think I caught the W. Let me know what you guys think. But it's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.